Welcome to Creative Platform, a platform where we celebrate creative people, their works and their world. On today's show, we have an artist who is a glass technologist by profession, but also because of the love for art, he has also specialized in what is called mirror desilvering and glass etching. Before we continue with today's show, let's take a short break. Okay, like I said, we have a very special guest in our show today, an artist who is a glass technologist by profession. His name is Godwin Makeri. Godwin, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mrs. Presenter.
Right, I was looking at your work and it's something quite fascinating, and I've not seen something like this before. And, you know, we are used to oil paintings, pencil drawings, and all the other kinds of arts, or even glass sculpture. Yeah, but you said this one is called mirror desilvering.
Yes.
Okay, so please, can you tell us about it?
Okay. Number one, I would like to express what I understand with art. Art is a form of expression. In any way we can show our flair, our inward flair, I think that's an expression which is also art. And I would say that I've always had this flair of art. It's just by fate, I was always in the science line. So right from my secondary school up till my higher institution, I'd always been on the science line. And in my tertiary study, I studied industrial design, where I specialize in glass technology. So in the field of glass technology, actually it's more of science-based. But perhaps, let me say, I didn't want to discard that art aspect of my own creative mind.
Okay.
So after the whole course outline, one of the lessons learned was on the desilvering of mirror, because mirror is a product of glass, yes, and etching of glass, which is done on glass surface.
Okay.
So I think after my tertiary studies, I had to explore ways which I could transmit arts on glass using these methods of working on glass. So with time, it has taken a long process reaching this point where I am now, and I feel there are still more places for me to explore. Now, let me say also that when we look at the trend of the innovative trend of things now, let's say from buildings, our furniture wares, and so we've shifted from other materials like wood, and we are coming to an age where glass is almost taking everything. So I think also art shouldn't be left out. And I've used this medium to also express art on glass.
Okay, so this art form it's very delicate, you know, so what precautions do you take in achieving, you know, because when you touch it, it's so smooth, you know, it doesn't even show that you did anything on it. So can you tell us like the precautions you take in achieving it and how it's being done?
Okay, basically the methods of arriving to this point, I believe the precautions taken is just the basic steps I learned from school. It's just that taking extra care One of the problems of artists, most especially in our country here, is that their finishing has always been that point where they miss giving an excellent work from a work that is just deemed as a roadside work. So let me say I've somehow worked and I'm still trying to perfect my finish. But the point where I am now, I thank God is being appreciated by onlookers.
Okay.
Yes.
So, mirror, like, do people actually buy your art? Because I know for mirror, it's quite a delicate kind of thing, and to preserve it, you have to be extra careful, you won't break and all that. What are questions people ask you, or what challenges do you face, when it comes to selling your art?
Okay, good question. There are many people who have come in contact and they have one or two reservations depending on my type of work. Questions like, after buying the work, won't it break? There are other questions like, they are scared of preserving and so on. Perhaps maybe the quality of the work will deteriorate with time. So what I've always told those people who maybe they have one or two doubts is that if you could take care of the glass table in your house, if you could take care of your window panes and so on, why can't you take care of this work? Moreover, it's something that just hangs on the wall. But the assurance I also give them is that as long as there's no earthquake in Nigeria, they won't lose their work.
Okay.
So that's one assurance I give them. Now, on the second aspect, the quality, that's the quality aspect of the work. As you get this work now, you can be very sure that that's how it's going to be in the next 100 years. Because after the whole work, for mirror desilvering, the work is done. It's done by desilvering, that's removing the silver part of the mirror, then replacing it with this black pigment that's what brings out the image. Now the other aspect of my work, which is the glass etching, it's inscribing on the surface of glass. Now why mine is far, far superior than any other thing you see is that we remove parts of the glass surface. It's like you're removing your marble stone or tombstone, these commissioning stones that we normally commission buildings with. Yeah. It's almost impossible for you to remove the writing. So that's what the type of quality I have on the glass. I remove parts of the glass by making the inscription. So I believe, except there's another superior technology which I don't know for now.
Okay, so how do you remove, parts of the, we have this, let me see.
Okay, let me bring a sample.
Okay.
This is,
wow.
This
so
is one
how
that...
how do you achieve this?
All right, I'm showing two samples here. There's the one that is just plain, and this is the colored one. Now, making these inscriptions is by the method of sealing the whole surface and bringing out the stencils. Now there are different methods of bringing out your stencils. There's the method whereby you use the normal, is this cellophane wrap on glass. Then there are other advancements whereby there are foreign machines. I haven't come in contact with them, but I have seen them on net. There are some technical machines that also make these stencils on glass. Now the other method that I use is the hot wax method. Now this the hot wax method is whereby you use wax with this, using a screen method to apply wax on the surface of glass. Now blocking the other areas and allowing the inscribed areas to be free. So after that, there are various acids we use in bringing out these effects. And the main, one of the main acid that works on glass is hydrofluoric acid. So if we are able to achieve that, you are sure of having a work like this, a piece like this.
Okay, so do people actually ask you to make them?
In fact, I will tell you that my patronage level, it has been wonderful.
Okay.
Because every customer or client that has been in contact with these fields is something that is out of this earth. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have people you train in this kind of art form?
Well, for now, I would say that I've not actually trained much people. Why? I feel there are procedures that I should master it before I transmit the knowledge. Just like we have this recent, the recent call for vocational studies in our institutions. I want to get to the stage whereby I'll be able to bring in hands, not necessarily those that have even a tertiary degree, at least people who will have the flair to go into such, yes. So I'm trying to work in conjunction with some state governments to bring to their notice this form of art that could also engage the youths in different states. So for now, I will just say, if I trained anybody, maybe about 3 people, which I feel I should have done more.
Okay.
So I'm using this forum to reach out to state governments that would want to engage their youth in some of these vocational trainings to also learn this form of art, which is scarce.
Okay.
Yes.
So where do you see yourself like in 5-10 years?
Well, I see myself.
Or your artwork even.
Okay. I intend moving from this stage to other forms of glass work. So at this point, I will tell you that the patronage for these works have been very wonderful. It has been tremendous. And I also face the challenge of having works becoming too much for me, because I've spent time trying to show out these works, and I have gotten to the stage where to the public, let's say some states now know the work, most especially in the north. I've not reached the southern part of Nigeria.
What of outside Nigeria?
Outside Nigeria, I've only had one work taken to Britain.
Okay.
Yes, and in fact the response was so good, because I tried to collect response from my clients. The response was good, and we're still hoping to get more response. I have a company by name Alheri Silicon. Okay. So our staff strength is just 3, me and 2 other people. So that's we're growing.
Okay, so you've said quite a lot, but we'll take a break right now. All right, we'll take a short break, and when we come back, Creative Platform continues.
Your weekend starts right here on the spot.
Watch Your Weekend at these times on NTAE.
Okay, it's still Creative Platform, and we've been talking a lot about mirror desilvering and glass etching. But there's so much more to discuss on this program, and Godwin is still here with us. Godwin,
Yes, thank you.
Okay, let's talk about how long it takes you to produce a work.
Okay. I would first of all indicate that I still use basically my manual skill in producing my works. So depending on the type of work, because we have different designs. There are different patterns that you have also different skills which you apply in making those designs. So it all depends on the type of design which you have, which I have to make. Okay. But basically, for let's say a work like this in this form, it doesn't take it doesn't take that long time. Like how? Let's say days or hours? It could take me about just 5 hours. 5 hours to accomplish. Yes, okay. To accomplish the design itself. Then the assembling. There's the designing, and there's the assembling aspect of the work. Okay. Yes. So like human forms, as in human portrait, depending on the kind of designs that the work could go with, it takes about 5 hours. Then other forms of work like this, whereby you have to give details, where there are details that would have to show with precision, it could take about quite about a day to achieve that's making the stencils for the work. Yes. Okay, so talking about this mural, the silvering, and the portrait art. Yes. Can someone use it also as a mirror at home? You know, can you just buy it and use it as a mirror instead of buying the normal mirror? Oh, yes. Let me now highlight some of the advantages of such this kind of works. Okay. Now, when you have this work in your home, in architecture, there's the aspect whereby you're taught how to maximize space. Now, whatever design you have, you need space to actually appreciate the end product. Okay. One of the advantages of such these mirror works is that once you have it in your home, it sort of expands the space in your living room. The space seems expanded. Yes, because of the reflection. Okay. Now, at night, there's a second function of this mirror, because the light that falls on it could also give you a reflection of the work. Now you see the beauty of the work in a different dimension. No, the reflection of the work gives you, the reflection of the work could come upon the surface of the like other, yes, the other walls in your living space, thereby bringing out that art form. Now you see it in the form of light. Oh, okay. Yes. So perhaps because of the studio light we might not be able to achieve it. Yes, I would have displayed it for you in the studio here, but once you have it in your home, you see that effect. So both during the daytime, it expands the space, and at night, the light that falls into your living room reflects the image out. So this art form, is it something that can be taught like in the university? Did you learn any, is there any place where you teach this kind of art form? Oh yes. As I earlier indicated, I read glass technology, and the basic thing you need to know about this work will be taught. Okay. Yes. Now, just as I earlier indicated that my flair for arts made me bring some of these basic primary lessons and place it in a way that there will be functionality. So those basic things, the little basic things which I learned, was put to function as an art expression. Okay. So we have glass technology being taught in ABU Zaria. For now, that's the only institution that, the only tertiary institution that teaches it on a degree level. We also have glass technology in Ado Ekiti. Okay. Ado Ekiti Federal Poly, I think. Then I'm not too sure of, there's a university in Yola. I'm not too sure, but I'll find out. Okay. There's a university in Yola that I think also teaches. All right, there was one that I saw earlier. It's like, I think you called it the Mirror of the Nation. Yeah, can you tell us about it? Okay. Like every artwork, my works, they have a theme. And Mirror of the Nation is one work that I have just displayed in the recent ongoing